Ooh! We have blast off! What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Fish Friday. That was super exciting and we're gonna get into that, but what today's video is really about is 5 tips and tricks to make your reefing experience more enjoyable. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on because we got new fish videos every single Friday. So behind me, we have my Red Sea Max 250. Over the course of the year and a half that I've had it, I've learned some things along the way that might help you just not stress so much about the tank and be like, oh, I gotta do this. I mean, water change days are still kind of a hassle for me, mostly just because I hate carrying the 5-gallon water buckets. But anyway, let's start off with like the simplest things you can do, and then we'll go to like the best tips that are a little bit more advanced. They're still not really advanced because let's be real, we're talking about me and I'm a newbie in the reef environment, but the reef environment, the reef, is it environment, the reef world? I don't know. But number 1 is to get yourself some timers. Get yourself timers for your fans, your lights, not your pumps stay running. You don't want to kill your fish. You do not want to have to come and turn your lights on and your fans on every single day and then turn them off before you go to bed. Like, I mean, you can, but a timer is super cheap. I'm pretty sure you can pick them up at Home Depot for a couple bucks. However, in this tank, I don't have to do that because I use the built-in Red Sea Max 250 timer to control the built-in fans, and then I installed Radeon XR30 Pros into the hood, and those have fans built into them as well when they are running. All of those are set on a timer through either the app or the timer that's on the top of the tank. So win-win, super easy modification to do, and it's going to save you a ton of annoyance. Moving on to tip number 2, get yourself a solid cleanup crew. You're gonna want to get one when you first get the tank set up, and it's gonna be your bigger pickup of a cleanup crew, and then you're supposed to replace stuff every so often. To be honest, mostly the only thing that I have replaced is my astrea snails, because those are the ones that flip over and then they can't flip themselves back over, so they end up dying, unfortunately. They're not too expensive, but those are a must in my opinion because they help keep the glass clean. All these guys on the glass are the astrea snails, and they keep it looking pretty good. This is about a week, and I mean, the glass, you can definitely see it's a little dirty, but it's not too bad. Turnover shell, dead, gone. Along with the cleanup crew, look, I gotta flip that one over before he dies too. Along with the cleanup crew, you have other stuff like hermits. Oh, there he is. Like hermits. I have a starfish in here somewhere as well. Sometimes you guys have seen him, Mr. Starfish. He likes to crawl back and forth in the front. I could probably benefit from a new cleanup crew since I haven't done a full one since I got my tank. But you know, we're just gonna let it ride. Before I figured this out, and I was almost pretty much all out of my astrea snails, my glass was getting dirty. Granted, obviously probably a nutrition issue. We're working on it. The glass was getting dirty, like, I mean dirty, every like 3 days, where I'd have to get the scraper out and clean it, and I was like, what is going on here? Somebody told me to get the astrea snails. I picked up 20 of those. I have a 65-gallon, and my tank lasts without me having to scrape the glass for pretty much 2 weeks, just about on my water changes. Sometimes, depending on how things go, I have to do it a little bit before, but usually I can stretch it to that 2-week mark and just do it when I do my water changes, which works out great for me. Less work, less maintenance. I'm all about it. Right now, how this tank glass is, I didn't clean it today, and that is about a week in from the last time I scraped it. Granted, half of my 20 that I bought last time have already flipped over and died, so they're doing pretty good. The third tip to make your reefing experience more enjoyable is get yourself a doser, an auto doser. I was reluctant to do this for a long time, and let me tell you, it's probably the best thing that I've done in this tank. I was having to dose every day when I would remember, and then if I would forget, it would be like every other day. My levels weren't getting stable. It was just like a whole thing. I finally took the plunge, actually because this channel, I needed content, so I was like, let me set up a doser, and it worked out for me because it has made my life so much easier. It took a little while to get my dosing levels dialed in right, but now I haven't adjusted the doser in probably a good month. Test once a week, and my levels have been maintaining where they're at, so it has been like literally a game changer for my tank and for my sanity. My stuff has been growing better because it's a little bit more stable. There's still a little bit of that natural reef fluctuation, but it's not so crazy. Like I was going from 9.5 out to then before my water changes, like almost down to 7. It was just off the wall. I personally went with a 3-pump doser just because I knew I wasn't gonna be dosing a whole bunch of stuff. I was gonna dose alk, I was gonna dose calcium, and I figured I would have the extra head open in case I wanted to dose RO or something down the line. I still have that one open, and to go along with setting yourself up with an auto doser is make some DIY dosing canisters. Like you don't have to spend a bunch of money. I mean, if you have the money and you want to spend it, go for it, but made these cool little DIY Voss bottle canisters to hold the liquids, and they work great. Super simple setup. Highly recommend that way if you're trying to do this like a little bit on a budget. He's going in there. Oh my goodness. Go down, bro. Go down. You know you want to. Look at him. Hosting right above. Oh, he touched it again. He touched it again, and then he ran away. Oh! Oh! We have blast off. Mr. Clown has officially gone into the anemone by himself for the first time. Hell yeah, and you guys over here thought I couldn't train my clown with some fish. What a rush. That is the first time that Mrs. Clownfish has ever dipped down into the rose bubble tip by herself without me like having to scare her in there. You guys can keep doubting, but those clownfish are gonna host that anemone. Maybe they're a little scared because it's so big. Maybe they're waiting for it to split, if it ever does frickin' split. I've been feeding it every day, no luck. Tank is looking solid. Number 4 goes and touches a bit on saving money. Sure, it's great to support your local fish store. I'm not taking anything away from that. Make sure you check out your local fish stores and get corals from them. However, sometimes when you're in a pinch and you need to save a couple bucks, check some local forums and some local apps like OfferUp, Craigslist, all those kinds of websites for coral deals or you know, other reef aquarium deals. I've come in contact with some awesome reefers that give me super good deals on corals. For instance, those cornbread rainbow infusions, I got like a frag of, I don't know if it was like 4 or 5 heads for 20 bucks, I think it was. On Cornbread's website, they're $100. Granted, I'm sure they're not that much in the store if you were to go to a normal store, but the point is you can get really good deals if you search locally for other reefers in your community. It's also a good idea to check the local reefing community because you can get trades. I'm at the point now where I'm kind of not really wanting to spend money. I need to calm down a little bit. So what I've been doing is kind of trading off my stuff, and if I have something that somebody else doesn't have and they have something that I want, then it's an easy trade, and that's not something that you're gonna do at the local fish store. Does anybody know how to eradicate all these little mini starfish? I suck out so many when I do my water change, but then they're just this. Look, all over the place. Does anything eat them or like pick at them? I haven't had any luck other than just sucking them out of the tank. If you guys know something, let me know. All right, so tip number 5 kind of feeds off of 4 a bit, and it is to frag out your current corals and make some of your money back so that way you can either reinvest it into the tank for other pieces or do something else with it. There are a lot of my pieces now that are getting too big or growing off in directions that I don't want them to grow. So I just frag them out, put them on a plug, put them on my DIY frag rack that I built, and then just wait it out, list them on OfferUp. It's a win-win for everybody. I keep my tank looking nice, I get some money to throw back into the tank, and somebody looking for one of my corals gets it for a little bit cheaper than they would at the local fish store. I say a little bit cheaper because I'm, you know, I don't put my corals like super cheap because I don't have that much, so I kind of just, my prices are better than the local fish store, but they're not that cheap, you know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Anyways, that is a really good way to make your money back. I've probably made close to, let me not say close to what I've spent in coral, but like maybe half of the money that I've spent in coral back, which, I mean, I'll take it. It's better than not making any of it back. That's the main tips and tricks. And then I have one final tip for you guys. Let's call it a little bonus. It is patience is key. Patience is key. This goes for everything in life, however, more so in the reefing world. You gotta give your stuff time. You gotta give it time to adapt. You have to do things slowly, incremental dose, incrementally adjust your lights, incrementally change your flow. Everything you want to do with patience, and you kind of just want to let it do its thing and react. I personally don't stress out too much about my tank. The world, the ocean, is a little bit of a fluctuation. It's crazy out there, you know what I mean? Like the waves, the sharks, rawr. And you're gonna be looking at your tank every day and you're gonna be like, oh, nothing's growing, nothing's growing. But then let me tell you, you look at a picture from when you first got the tank and then you look at it now and you're like, whoa, whoa. The other day when I went to one of the local fish stores, one of the guys there asked me if I had a tank, and I was like, yeah, let me show you a picture. So I went on my phone and I got a picture and I showed it to him, and before I could even think about it, I was like, yeah, this is my tank. But then I got a second look at it and I was like, wait a minute, is this my tank? That looks really good. Is that my tank? Like, did I just show this guy somebody else's tank by mistake? I looked at it again, I was like, oh shit, that is my tank. Like, that thing looks sick. I don't know, usually you look at other people's tanks and they look amazing, and then you look at yours and you're like, ah, it's got a long way to go. Mine does have a long way to go, but that's why we got those coral minnows, which are working good so far. On that note, be patient because we are headed to Reefapalooza this weekend. So if you guys are out there, make sure to let me know. I'll be there Sunday. I think I'm going in the morning sometime, the morning like slot. There's different slots. Kind of excited. I've heard the prices get bumped up a little bit. I'm hoping not. Maybe I could bring some stuff back. We'll see how it goes. If you guys see me out there, make sure to say what's up or don't. If you're an experienced reefer and you have some tips and tricks to leave for others starting in the hobby, drop a comment down below. Let somebody else know what can make their life easier, what can make them love this hobby and not want to just sell the tank right away and get frustrated. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. We got new fish videos every single Friday. Make sure you're here for it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Later.
Yep.